directionally challenged hiker here this Monday, April 7th, 2025, and I am along the Tonto, heading away from Lonetree to the edge of Cremation, where we will be camping tonight. But this is the view. Yeah, I'm feeling really small right now. Look at that, it is just massive. We had a blast going down the little creek at Lonetree this morning and cooled off a little bit, and now, yeah, we are pounding trail with a whole bunch of water later. All right, first branch of Cremation. Looking across, you can see where we just dropped in, and then we just crossed the wash. I'm going to do a turn up the wash, and it is nicely cairned, and we will be heading back up there so that we can face the second branch. Looks like there's still snow up top, but anyway, I am standing in. There's if you don't mind sunshine, nice little camp area has been established here. One big site. We got another site here, and then my friend and I are hiding around the corner here. There may be more. We're not doing too much. I'm just doing a quick blip while I take my pack off for a few. But there's looking down wash, and then here is our little lunch area. There's a bit of shade, so later. All right, second branch of Cremation, or the middle one, depending on which way you're coming from. Anyway, we just came down from there. My friend is on the trail taking a picture of a cactus, and I am standing in one of the campsites. I'm not going to explore here because we already had our snack, but there is a bone in the middle of that campsite. I'm a little bit concerned, so we have to climb out over there. Fun. All right, heading from over there. She conquered the easy first branch. She has conquered half of this second or middle branch here, and we are getting ready to do the climb up. And yeah, I'm trying to pay attention because I'm remembering this one kind of turned into a find the cairn. So I'm going to be going slow, but going up. All right, so trying to get it about center screen. We climbed down from there, the third branch of Cremation today. Yeah, only a 4.5 mile day, but kicked our booties. It was, as you can see, mostly cloudless sky, a little bit warmer. I mean, we started our trip out cold, rainy, snow. Again, I'm getting this awesome echo. Hopefully I'm not annoying anybody, but we just went a short ways up, and this is our little camp for the night. There's a little site here, but we chose up this way. Again, this is in the nearest branch to South Kaibab, so it was the third branch we hit because we were coming from Grandview, and yeah, but no, it was pretty interesting putting our tents up. They're really cool, but they're kind of tight squeezes. And then I'm just gonna walk around my friend. I told her she had to put her tent up down here because when we got here, we were just hot. But I mean, is that sweet or what? I mean, wow. And then a view up. No, we haven't explored up at all. Maybe if the sun drops, I might, but I'm not too sure about that. But anyway, this is kind of our camp. Probably the first camp area up from where you drop down either direction. If you look down there, there's a nice flat rock. You could put another tent on. But anyway, yeah, we are chilling. We've been hiding from the sun and hiking out tomorrow, so hopefully get a good night's sleep. But I think that is about it. I am really tired. Oh yeah, and there's that moon. Okay, everybody, you know, you talk about full moons and how things are lit. Our last 2 nights, that moon has lit things up. It's really crazy. I was not expecting, because it's getting fuller, but it was like a half moon, and it was like my tent was glowing. So, oh, and I guess if I get down here, maybe I can get a little bit of a view of where we're climbing out tomorrow. No, I'm up too high. But yeah, we climb up out over there. So a little bit of a tough climb out, but then we are on the Tonto, headed to the tip-off and the more civilized. You know, the South Kaibab is like a highway compared to anything we've experienced on this trip. But I will leave you with one last look of that sketchy descent that we both had to make today. And the moon. Later. Slideshow time here. Again, we had a slightly later start this morning because we were definitely enjoying ourselves in the Lonetree area. And here we are taking a look back at that Lonetree area where we had been camping. And yeah, I always enjoy doing that, taking a look at it from a different perspective than when I dropped into it. Anyway, we have about 4.5 miles today. It would be 3 miles before we reached that first branch of Cremation. Yeah, then the fun would begin. As you can see from these pictures, that sky is pretty blue. It was a little bit warmer today, and we were feeling that sun a little bit. And here's this bird. Okay, I hauled the zoom lens for this whole trip trying to get a bird shot, and this is the only guy that I got. I'm croaking now. But anyway, we were enjoying ourselves. I did take a lot of pictures today, and I don't know if you are noticing, um, I seem to get like series of like the different shots, but further along the trail, if that is making any sense at all. But I don't know, I always enjoy, like, especially as you're traveling along the Tonto, the views change. Sometimes it's a little bit more subtle, sometimes it is, you know, really extreme, especially if you cross like a big saddle and then there are certain formations or parts of the canyon that are no longer in your view. So I was definitely having fun with the camera today, taking breaks. Again, it was a little bit warmer. Yeah. Um, and we were hauling water. I think I started out with just over 6.5 liters because, you know, cremation is known to be dry. I guess on rare occasion there may be some water in one of the branches, you know, just I wouldn't even know where to look for it. So don't count on water in cremation, is what I'm gonna say. But anyway, so yeah, we were hauling water, enjoying just taking pictures in the different branches. I probably have video clips more of that than anything else. There's that bone. It was kind of interesting. And then that is looking back at where we dropped into that third branch of Cremation. That was by far the sketchiest and roughest drop that we had. The climb out is never too bad because you're going up. There's not that, you know, not that fear of slipping and falling as much. And we are wrapping up the day, and I will just finish up with no, I didn't take the camera or the GoPro when I did do a little bit of exploring in the evening. Sorry about that. Later.